Andikai, what is it?
I came to return these books to you, Tungdil. Luckily, I was able to make sense of most of it.
You observed how the Mager took time to study the books during your escape.
They are records from the Outer Lands. They tell of demonic beings from barren ground who can take possession of humans and invest them with great power.
Immortality, for example?
The Mager nods seriously.
They speak of an axe forged by the Undergrounders called Keenfire. It is said to have the power to cut through the flesh and bone of the living and completely destroy the demonic spirit deep within their soul.
Do you know these Undergrounders?
I have never heard of the Undergrounders, but I've been to the Outer Lands before.
It must be terrible. The hordes of Tion have marched from there against our strongholds for thousands of years.
It's not as bad as you think. It is certainly safer than a land in which a magus possessed by a demon is on the loose.
So you think a demon from the Outer Lands has taken possession of Nudin?
He looked very different when I encountered him in Parista, and he rose from the dead even though you cut off his head. That can't be explained purely through the power of the perished land.
And he wanted to prevent these books from falling into our hands. That would only make sense if Keenfire had the power to defeat him. Where is this Keenfire?
I don't know if this weapon was ever forged. It requires rare materials and masterful craftsmanship. The purest, hardest steel, stone barbs decorated with runes, a hilt of Sigurdaisy wood, inlays made of all the noble metals, the blades studded with diamonds, smithed in the hottest forge.
We are dwarves. We have the most talented craftsmen.
And you have the Sigurdaisy wood. It is amongst the objects in your rucksack, which is fortunate as there are no more Sigurdaisies in Girdlegard. But even if you manage to forge the axe, it might all be just a fairy tale. It's too little to wager our lives on.
We can get all the missing materials, as well as a gem cutter, here in the stronghold. After all, Gandagar and his fourthlings are here, a stonemason from the secondlings, and I can smith.
The Mager looks at you thoughtfully, and for a short time it seems as though your enthusiasm is rubbing off on her. But then she says,
I wish you good luck, Tungdil.
You still want to leave Girdlegard, but what will happen to your realm and all the other realms?
I admire your optimism, my friend, but it isn't wise to stand in the way of a rolling stone. I don't wish to give up my realm, but I would only be prolonging the suffering unnecessarily.
But
you don't want to let the last Mager in Girdlegard go. Unfortunately, you can't think of anything that could cause her to stay.
Many thanks, Honourable Mager, for all that you have done. A variety of cheeses, pickled cave mushrooms, toasted vault moss, and some smoked sausage.
The intense smell of the cheese makes your mouth begin to water. You are exhausted from your adventurous journey, but it would be impolite to just go to bed if the High King is waiting for you.
Tungdil, come closer.
The power that the old High King radiated when he called the assembly to order has drained away from him. His body is sunken in the throne, but his eyes are alert and interested as he looks at you.
The lost son returns to his people. Thank Vracus. Tell us what you learned on your journey.
You describe your adventure down to the smallest detail. Neither the king nor his advisor interrupts you. From time to time they nod, as though they were already aware of certain facts. Their brows become more furrowed with every passing minute. When you are finished with your story, you also have some questions.
I don't want to appear ungrateful, and I'm happy to finally be among my people, but I will not ascend the throne. I hardly know anything about our customs and laws. Everything that I know, I have learned from books that Lot Yonan gave me. There must be more suitable heirs than me.
Your announcement honours you. But to be honest, you never had a claim. To stop Gandagar, we had to stall for time.
Lot Yonan helped us with our little story. We don't even know if you are a fourthling.
The king's advisor misinterprets your unbelieving gaze and quickly adds,
We're only being as deceitful as goblins for one solitary reason: to stave off possible harm to our people.
You feel as though you've been hit in the stomach. If this is true, not only have you lost your newly found kingdom, but Master Lot Yonan also didn't see it as necessary to inaugurate you in the conspiracy.
What game is being played here?
Gandagar, as king of the fourthlings, is to supersede me as High King, but his mind is poisoned with hatred towards the elves. He would probably win a war against them, but he would weaken us, and Girdlegard would not be helped by this. I was hoping for a great coalition with the elves, and even with the thirdlings. I would have given anything to start the negotiations. In times of great need, only the common goal can count.
And which role have you planned for me?
Well, with you as a second aspirant, certain possibilities of protocol open up to us.
Why is Gandagar so full of hatred towards the elves?
His father and brother were murdered by elves. At least that's what's claimed.
No one knows the truth, just as no one knows how true this report about the fifthlings is. But isn't it strange that this letter has turned up now, just when it can play into the hands of the elf-haters? Many dwarves' hatred towards the elves is great, perhaps even greater than their honesty.
I understand why you want to prevent a High King Gandagar. He will be blind to our real problems.
Gandagar's only liability is that he lets Bislipper whisper dark thoughts in his ear. The advisor is the problem, not the king.
A problem that I am fortunate enough not to have.
The High King smiles weakly at his advisor.
Gandagar is a good dwarf and a good king, and I am certain he could also be a good High King if he was free of Bislipper's lies and false advice.
Your plan has a flaw. Even if I were to line up, I couldn't win. No one on the council will vote for me.
You don't have to win.
Belendalin points to the Steelies in the throne room.
It's written in our laws that the High King can oppose an heir if he isn't elected unanimously. He can then demand a duel or a contest in order to determine the winner.
Such a contest could take weeks, if not months, and it would win us some time.
What kind of contest would you have us compete in? Gandagar is surely superior to me in many things.
Everyone in the council will write a task on a piece of paper, and from them the contest will be drawn.
And this only once you have made a speech and have won over as many as possible in the council to your side. The more sympathetic the council is towards you, the higher the chances of a contest that fits your abilities.
Speech? You're beginning to like this whole thing less and less.
Is this really the best for our people? If you cannot dissuade Gandagar from carrying out his plans, it could end in a fraternal war.
Don't worry. We'll open up his eyes and he will recognize the malice of his feigned friend. We just need time, and you must gain it for us.
I'm not sure. What if it goes wrong and we split the dwarves into two factions?
We won't let it get that far. But you, Tungdil, will have to help us.
We will support you with all our power. You will not take this road on your own.
All right then. If you believe in it, I will follow your plan.
No one acts more honourably than you, Tungdil.
Belendalin smiles at you encouragingly.
You say Andakai may have found a way to defeat Nodon, and she suspects that the Magus is possessed by a demon from the outer lands. It may be possible to kill this demon with an axe called Keenfire. I have commissioned armor that is worthy of a prince. It will be delivered to your chamber by sunrise.
You say goodbye with a queasy feeling in your stomach. You always thought that you were articulate, but the prospect of having to make a speech in front of the large council doesn't exactly fill you with elation. The coal fire is lit when the kingdoms meet for council. It has lain dormant much too long, until it was finally lit again a few days ago.
Ah, Tungdil, what is it?
The High King and his advisor don't know where I come from either. But they only want to use me to delay Gandagar's coronation and ultimately prevent war with the elves.
Whatever happens, we will stand by your side, Scholar.
You're not sure whether the moral support of your friends will be much use in a contest with Gandagar, but it feels good not having to go through the whole thing on your own.
Andakai deciphered what was written in the books that Garen wanted to send to Turga the Fairfaced. They tell of a demonic threat from the Outer Lands and how it can be stopped. Nudin cannot be killed by normal weapons, but Undergrounders have developed a weapon that might be able to do it. Keenfire.
Undergrounders? What's that supposed to mean?
You shrug your shoulders.
Maybe there are dwarves in the Outlands too. Either way, they have described how this magical weapon can be made.
If it's got anything to do with magic, the weapon cannot be dwarfish. We shouldn't go anywhere near it.
Nudin fears the books. I believe that Keenfire is our best chance of stopping him. I think I'll continue to look around.
Don't get lost. And tonight, we will finally drink a lovely dark ale in the glowing anvil.
You are looking forward to the first proper bed for weeks. You undress and lie down. Before you know it, your eyes close and you fall asleep. When your new armor is brought to you the next morning, you can hardly believe your eyes. However, as a smith, you can't stand the fact that you haven't contributed anything to it, and decide to add some inlays.
Even one who wears the armour of a prince can still be a farrier underneath it, don't you think, Tungdil Bolafar?
Just like a snake in elegant clothing is still a snake.
Ignoring your question, Bisleyper eyes you very exactly before he speaks.
So, you want to be one of our kingdom? A foundling brought up by a wizard? One wouldn't think it possible. And I don't think it possible either. There is no proof of your origin, and Gandagar's the council on his side. Why don't you spare yourself the disgrace and just not turn up in front of the council? Put your scheme to bed, and we will take you into our kingdom. We will give you everything you need your whole life long. In exchange, you support Gandagar instead of challenging him.
Proof? Oh, you mean like your letter that has been found after 1,000 cycles and makes the elves responsible for the fall of the Fifthlings?
It is no secret that the elves are deceitful, and what could possibly be more suited to get one over on us than letting the perished land in and presenting us as the scapegoat?
The elves have been displaced by the perished land and are now almost eradicated.
I said they are deceitful, not wise.
And what if I don't withdraw my candidacy?
You wish to stand against your own king? A stray dwarf offending a deserving leader such as Gandagar through his claim? No one in the Brown Range will like that. Prepare yourself for life as an outsider among the Fourthlings.
Children of the Smith cannot be silenced.
You are a dwarf, I confess, but no Fourthling can remember a dwarf child ever going missing.
And you know thousands of the Fourthlings personally, and know exactly where they live in the mountains, what they're planning, or what small tragedies take place in their lives?
You have a sense that all the long evenings in the library and debating with Lot Yonan weren't for nothing, as Bislipper struggles for a reply, then lets it go. You have had enough of this dwarf. He makes you feel uneasy, or worse still.
Get out!
A humanized bastard will not issue me orders. Know your place, false dwarf.
The armour has been made by a master. Over the chainmail is steel plate, alloyed with gold in many places, which certainly appeals to you. There are also several decorative elements made of stone to honour its origin in the kingdom of the best stonemasons. You had just finished setting the last inlay, the seal of Lot Yonan, who brought you up and is gone, when Bislipper interrupted you.
That is why I, too, lodge a claim to the throne and why I think I am the more capable heir.
Thank you for your speech, Tungdil Bolafar. The council may now ask questions.
Yes, the dwarf from the Secondling Kingdom over there.
You say that a war against the elves would be madness. But how can such a young dwarf as you judge that? You've hardly seen anything of the world, has he?
It is true. There is much that I only know from books. But it is written that it is our duty to defend and protect Girdlegard, and that includes the elves. And don't the elves have the same enemy as we do? They could stand by us in battle. Why should we play into the hands of the enemy by attacking them, rather than working against the enemy together?
That is true.
He's right. The words of a clever warrior.
But the pointy ears hate us, and we hate them too.
What is it they say again? My enemy's enemy is my friend.
Yes? Your question?
Just so I get this right, you want to forge a weapon that is described in a book of fairy tales from the perished land to kill a demon that none of us has ever seen?
I have most definitely seen it, Goimgar, Yellow Belly Shimmerbeard.
We have seen the perished land with our own eyes, and its master Nodon could not be killed. Many have died for the books in which it is written how keen fire can be made, and the Magus did all he could to get his hands on the two hafts made of Sigurd Daisy wood. Those are the facts, whether you like them or not. These problems won't solve themselves, so I ask you, is it the dwarven way to step aside and do nothing, or is it our way to act?
To act!
We don't hide away.
If the humans won't stop the perished land, then we will.
We shouldn't get drawn in.
Let's show the Magus the strength of the dwarves.
Bislipper?
Nothing you say will convince anyone here. You didn't grow up amongst us, and no one knows if you really are a fourthling. I do not believe there has ever been a more unworthy heir to the throne of the High King. You are just wasting our time.
Oh, I didn't know you were the spokesperson for everyone at this assembly, Bislipper. I had the impression that every dwarf is capable of forming their own opinion.
Absolutely.
Hear, hear!
He's right, you know.
Keep out of it, Bislipper.
I have heard enough. The council has heard the words of both candidates and must now make its decision. Those of you who wish to see Tungdil Bolafar, the returning son from the Fourthling Kingdom, as my successor, raise your axe. And those who wish to see Gandagar Silverbeard from the Silverbeards, the king of the Fourthlings, as my successor. It's close, but Gandagar has received more votes.
Very good. Ha ha!
Excellent.
Here's to Gandagar!
Long live our new High King!
However, the result was not unanimous, and as acting High King, I avail myself of my right to demand a contest between the aspirants.
What is this?
But he won the ballot.
It's the rules. The High King has the right to do so.
Respect! He is still the High King.
Silence!
You have heard the High King's command. Write down your challenge for the aspirants. Are you ready? The one that masters this task first will become the High King. It is an expedition. The trial is to lead a group to forge the axe Keenfire in the Grey Range, which can then be used to fight against the Magus Nod On.
An expedition into the perished land?
Ha ha! Brilliant!
You can't be serious.
That's what I call a worthy challenge, don't you think?
I call it luck, Scholar. Of all the challenges, Bislipper draws this one.
Yes. Luck.
But, my king, don't demand this of me. Why me, of all people?
You are one of my best gem cutters, and I promise to support him. It should be a fair contest. Or should I break my word just because of you?
But...
You will go, Goimgar Shiverbeard. Do not put us to shame. Follow Tungdil's instructions. Go! And come back in good health.
And with that, our group is complete.
Who have you chosen as Mason?
Good day, gentlemen.
Bavragar? The old drunkard?
Old drunkard? He assured me he's the best stonemason here. The High King himself sent him.
Well, I said I was precisely the stonemason you need. I didn't exactly say I was sent by the High King.
You let yourself be tricked by a drunkard.
I don't want him with us.
Rest assured, Boindil, I too could imagine better company. But Tungdil gave me his word.
Yes, I gave you my word. And as long as you are capable of doing the stonework needed for Keenfire, you are welcome. Girdleguard is at stake here.
I wish you no ill fortune, Tungdil, but also no good fortune. The throne belongs to me, and through my victory, Vracus will show the clans.
The task is clear to the contenders? The first to forge Keenfire and bring it back here has proven his abilities and will be our new High King to lead us in battle against Nod On.
It will take months to complete the task. The journey to the Fiflings alone is a long and dangerous business.
Dangerous, yes, but not necessarily long. Do you know the old tunnel system that connects the Dwarven kingdoms?
Tunnels are all well and good, but why should we get there so much quicker under the ground than over it?
A knowing smile plays on the mouth of the advisor.
Well...
Pretty impressive what our forefathers achieved here, isn't it?
The kingdoms all work together. If we do the same, nothing is impossible.
Hear, hear.
I still don't understand why you tricked me and why you were so set on coming with us.
I have been the Master of Stone for more than 200 sun cycles. My work is admired all over Girdlegard. There has never been a better secondling mason than me. But today, I don't want to be remembered as a drunkard with the chisel trembling in my hand, but as Bavragor Amethyst, undefeated Master of Stone who brought Keenfire to life. One last masterpiece.
I hope you understand me asking, but there seems to be bad blood between you and Boindil.
It's nothing that will endanger our mission. We've just always hated each other.
There's more behind it than commonplace hatred.
Bavragor doesn't react. His gaze is directed towards events that took place a long time ago.
You really should rein in your drinking. We need you in good shape.
There are some who say I'm only the Master of Beer and not the Master of Stone anymore. But don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I can't forget, no matter how much I drink. I wonder why we haven't seen any sign of Gandagar recently. Perhaps they took a wrong turn somewhere. I'm sure we'll reach the Fifling Kingdom before them.
We're not on the way to the Fiflings. We are on the way to the Firstlings. We're probably already under the land of the Custodian.
The Firstlings? Why?
The Firstlings have been the best smiths in Girdlegard since the Fiflings were wiped out. Only they can alloy Tionium and Palladium, which are actually mutually repellent. Anyway, we could use all the help we can get in the battle against Nodon, and... Damn. Goimgar!
It burns!
We won't get further this way, Scholar. What now?
It's all your fault, you imposter. I was nearly killed, and for what?
It is good that you are still alive. We need you for our mission.
So you can steal a throne that doesn't belong to you?
Hatred glints in the gem cutter's eyes, and for a moment you think he's going to attack you with the courage of desperation.
I'm not interested in the title of High King. I am trying to save Girdlegard. Even if you don't believe anything else, you must believe this.
I don't have to believe anything. I am here against my will. My own thoughts are my only remaining right.
Enough! Gather up all the materials we can still save. If we manage to reach the Firstlings, we can get anything we're missing there. And it should be less than 200 miles to their stronghold.
After you have gathered together the materials, you begin to search for a way out. And after a sweaty climb, you reach a door adorned with runes. From here, You enter a large cave with a waterfall covering a sun-drenched opening. You walk through the waterfall one after another, and after the unintentional shower, you find yourselves in Wayan, near the enchanted realm of Oromira. You find yourselves on a plateau, and the river which falls as a waterfall here hides the entrance to the underground rail network. It then flows past a forest, behind which you can see a wall and tiled roofs. You check the map.
That must be Mithridania. We'll go through the forest to the city and see if we can refresh our supplies and buy some ponies.
Boindil strikes up song during your hike. A short while later, Bavrigor joins in. But rather than actually singing along, he tries to outdo Boindil with his own songs. When he finally strikes up a love song, Boindil becomes absolutely livid. You take the stonemason to one side and ask him if he's doing it on purpose.
Of course I'm doing it on purpose. I'm gonna make him suffer the whole journey.
It can't go on like this. We can't fight amongst ourselves and save Girdlegard.
You take a short break before you dare breach the roots of the problem.
It's to do with a woman, right?
Not in the way you might think. Smeralda was my sister, a young thing of only 40 cycles.
Bavrigor takes a large swig of his liquor before he continues.
She was almost as belligerent as Boindil, and she got it into her blockhead to stand by him in battle. A bad decision.
You can see the pain he is suffering in his eyes. You place a hand on his shoulder and put him under no pressure to carry on. The constant bickering between Boindil and Bavrigor distracts you. Goimgar hears the clanking of armour first.
Something's coming!
Before you know it, the orcs are charging towards you over a hillside.
Yeah!
Please wait a moment!
And what now?
Killed!
I'm with you!
Out of my way!
Of course!
Yes?
Yeah!
Yeah! He hardly put up a fight! Huh?
What is it?
Yeah! What is it? Huh?
Don't take it personally.
Yes? What is it?
What's up?
Bad luck for you! I didn't hit you very hard! As good as done! On my way! As good as done! On my way! As good as done!
Yes?
Yeah! And what now?
And again!
What is it?
Yes? What is it?
Kill!
With yourself! On my way!
Of course!
On my way! He will goodbye forever!
And what
Too
now?
easy!
Of course! I'm with you!
As good as done!
Of course!
On my way!
Yes, yes!
I didn't hit you very hard!
With you! Come here, hammer!
I've been too much.
He hardly put up a fight!
Yeah!
What's up?
He will goodbye forever!
Disgusting.
Yeah! Another one bites the dust!
I'm with you!
Who's next?
On my way! Yes? For you!
Yeah! Huh? What's up?
He hardly put up a fight.
Another one bites the dust.
Of course.
On the way. On the way.
Of course.
Done. On my way.
Of course.
Bad luck for you.
Understood.
On my way.
There we go.
Done.
Of course.
Yeah. Huh?
What is it?
Too easy. On my way.
Of course.
Understood. On my way. Done. On my way.
Yes?
Yeah. And what now?
Kill!
Huh?
Vile!
What is it?
Don't take it personally.
And there you. Bad luck for you. Yeah.
Yes?
Ow! Hey!
That was refreshing. Hey, here comes some more. 3, 4, 5 or 6.
5 or 6? Oh, phew! He means 5 or 600.
Goimgar turns white as a sheet.
That's too many. To the city. Come on!
You flee towards Mithridania, with Goimgar out ahead. The orcs at his back seem to have mobilized unimagined powers in him, and he reaches the gate first, hammering manically against it. He says something and scurries through a small gateway that has been opened to him. Moments later, you also reach the gate.
Get in, quickly!
You push your way through the gate as the first orc arrows slam into the wood next to you.